During the Obote I Amin's regime and Obote II regimes, the foreign exchange was only being controlled by the Central Bank of Uganda. If anyone wanted to access foreign currency, you would apply to the central bank through two different windows in the central bank. One would make an application depending on what he or she wanted the money for, and present their need for the foreign currency to the Bank of Uganda. For personal expenses like shopping, for example, when people wanted to get married, they would apply for pounds to go to London for wedding shopping. For business, like imports, people who wanted to import goods into the country used to apply for the foreign currency from the central bank, so money was being monopolized by the Bank of Uganda, the central bank. The bank reserved the right to accept your application, or not, also depending on how well you were connected. Because of scarcity in foreign currency, this created black markets, which locally we called the Kibanda market. People used to go and buy foreign currency on the streets, mostly at Lewam Street, and the area which was named California, a bar. The people in the black market money business were known as the Kibanda people. During Obote II, the president used to make his budget speech criticizing the Kibanda market because of its big influence in the money market at that time. And then the Hawala market. This was a market mainly started by the Somalis, the Eritreans, and the Indians at that time. Hawala simply meant money transfer. This was mainly for businessmen and travelers, where one would make a payment to a specified person or office in Uganda, and then, given a code on paper, travel to London or another designated office or location, and receive his payment or money from a specific office or person there. It became so popular, and still exists up to now. After the change of government in 1986, from President Obote II to President Museveni, there came technocrats who used to work in the World Bank. They advised the government then to liberalize the money market and the economy, as it was time to allow other players in the money market legally, and also to create positive competitiveness in the private sector. The government ceased to be a business operator and transferred the business to the private sector and individuals. Being that the cooperative markets were all liberalized, people started competing individually with cooperatives in the export of coffee, cotton, and other goods and services. The foreign currency exchange was also liberalized, and people started earning foreign currency in their private capacity. Many opened up bank accounts in commercial banks, and that created a market. Buying and selling of money from banks, buying from exporters, mainly coffee exporters, as the sources of foreign exchange came from coffee exporters, selling mainly to the importers of goods and services the diplomatic corps used. Uganda became the first in East, Central and Southern Africa to liberalize the economy, and also a benchmark for many countries, where delegations from different countries visited to study how the liberal market system was performing. Forex bureaus were introduced. Very many companies that used to work under the Kibanda system joined or onboarded and got licensed to operate legally. The first groups that registered were elites and some who had a lot of money in operations, mostly of the Indian descent, among which was Crane Forex Bureau, Lloyd's Forex Bureau, Orient Forex Bureau, Give and Take Forex Bureau, Metropole and Hydri Forex. There were cash transactions all over the counter, and clients gained the power to choose from whom to trade with and make more money. However, this created unhealthy competition in the market, as some would sell below the rates and buy above the rates, just to eliminate the small traders. For example, if the dollar bought 34.10, one would sell at 34.05 because some had exposure to a lot of money. Money was carried freely. One sold and bought at any rate of either choice due to lack of proper regulations and guidance. After some time, players in the market realized this kind of competition was unhealthy, as they were not making any business apart from driving their competitors out of the market. Indeed, many had lost and closed business, leaving it to the giants in the game. A few members in the Forex currency business, known as Forex Bureau, called for a meeting to address the unhealthy competition, and also to come up with possible means to level ground for everyone in the business. Among the few included Mr. Tejani of Lloyd's, Mr. Sumahi and his brother of Metropole Forex Bureau, Mr. Stanhope Forex Bureau, Mr. Dordani, Mr. Moonjay of BM Forex Bureau, Mr. Manji of Hydari. A decision was made to form an association, and the name was the Uganda Forex Bureau Association, with the main objective on how to discipline ourselves, work competitively with a business sense of making money, and grow as any other business.
After liberalization of the economy in Uganda, many bureaus sprang up, but none of those bureaus were working independently. And for the first 10 years, we had a lot of challenges as an industry in terms of the image of the industry. It was a time when the industry was marred by bichupuri, a lot of corruption, a lot of underhand operations, and the image of the industry was terribly bad. So at one of the meetings I've called by Bank of Uganda to meet the operators to discuss various challenges, I did float an idea that we could begin an association, which would basically do two things. One, to give us a voice as bureau operators, but also to allow us inside ourselves to streamline operations and fight the wrong elements in the operations. So in the year 1999, the idea was picked up by the Governor Bank of Uganda, and by 2000, we had set up an association, fully registered, and put up the initial executive, which again elected me as their first chairman.
Mr. Tumusi Memutebile, the late, who was the Bank of Uganda governor at that time, was invited and inaugurated the meeting. Later, he became a patron, and with his experience, he guided the association in many ways in that meeting. A code of conduct was made, a memorandum of association developed, an executive committee was elected which was to run the affairs of the association. Rules, guidelines and regulation were put in place, and a mandatory 10 shillings spread on all our boards was to be followed so that members would make money. It was insisted whoever is a member display 10 shillings on the board. It doesn't matter how you sell when a customer comes to you, but on the board, you display the mandatory 10 shillings spread. It was through the association that members led by their leaders advocated for more than just dealing in spot cash, and started money transfers, which was not the case before, as all money transfers were done through banks. At first, our patron, Mr. Tumusi Memutebile, who was the Bank of Uganda governor at that time, opposed the idea. The association leadership insisted on the idea, and a document was drafted, presented the case to Parliament, and Parliament passed the resolution which gave members the mandate to operate money transfer services, and it was enacted within the law of the land. This called for a change of name from Uganda Forex Bureau Association to Uganda Forex Bureau and Money Remitters Association. Thanks to the Uganda Forex Bureau and Money Remitters Association and its members, especially the leadership team, the Forex exchange business became profitable and more products started falling in place. These include Western Union, MoneyGram, telegraphic transfers, and many more. As of now, many are still applying to join the sector because it is fairly profitable. Statistics show the Bank of Uganda has over 60 applications waiting to be approved. And some of the members grew from Forex bureaus to banks: Orient Bank, Crane Bank from Crane Forex Bureau, ABC Bank,